In today's video, I'll be talking about ChatGPT, and I want to see basically if this program or AI can solve mathematical problems. And I also want to talk about how this could impact society in the future. So let's begin and see what kind of problems ChatGPT can solve. So this is just a basic math problem. If I had $100 in my pocket, and if each item costs $5, how many items can I buy? That's a very basic, I guess, math problem. Let's see if ChatGPT can do this. That's correct. You could buy 20 items with $5. Back when I was going to school, back in the 1980s and 1990s, we did have calculators, but calculators couldn't solve problems. It could help you do the arithmetic or the computations and stuff like that, but it couldn't solve any problems. It couldn't do very much more than that. Let's do a basic chemistry problem. I have sodium and chloride, so I just want to see what the chemical formula for that would be. Very basic chemistry problem. Yes, you even got the balancing equations right. Chloride is Cl2, that's correct. If sodium and chloride react, you get NaCl. You have 2 NaCl. That's correct, because this is 2. That's 2 sodium. Correct. Back in the 1990s, you didn't have anything that could do something like this. But this can actually do that. That's really amazing. Another very basic chemistry problem. If you have 10 grams of HCl in 100 milliliters of liquid, what is the molarity? Okay, fair enough. It has to find out what the atomic mass of HCl is. Let's see if it can do that. Give us the answer that we need. That's correct. It is the unit is moles per liter. So we got that. Computed that. The atomic mass of molar mass of HCl is 36.46. You get that from the periodic table of hydrogen chloride. Let's see. Here's a periodic table. That's 1.0078 for hydrogen. For chloride, it's 35.453. You add the two together, and you would get the molar mass, which is 36.46. Mass of HCl, we said 10. That's correct. Divide the two. We get 0.2742 moles. Since molarity is moles per liter, so we got to divide moles divided by, we have to convert milliliters to liters. It did that. So we got that answer. Wow. Now, basic trigonometry question. Using the Pythagorean theorem. So if x equals 10 meters, y equals 12 meters, what is the hypotenuse? Okay. Pythagorean's theorem, that's how it looks like. So we're trying to find this here, r, the hypotenuse. So c is equal to square root of a squared plus b squared. Okay, let's see if we can solve the problem. What is the hypotenuse? That's correct. The c squared equals x squared plus y squared. If we want to solve for c squared, is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So that's correct. It's 244. Square root of 244. Yep, that's right. It's 15.62 meters. Let's do another problem. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to take that and change it around a little bit. If x equals 110 meters and y equals 12 meters, what is the angle of the triangle? Okay, fair enough. I have enough there to solve that problem. That's correct. Triangle trigonometry of this. All I know is in a right triangle, the tangent theta is equal to y divided by x. Cosine theta is equal to x divided by r. So yes, that's tangent, that's correct. So it is y divided by x. So we know what y and x is. So we have to solve for theta. So that's correct. Yes, it can actually do that. Back when I was going to college, we didn't have anything that could do anything like this. We did have graphing calculators and stuff like that, but Nothing like this. This is actually something that has some cognitive abilities, and this is pretty this is a pretty powerful tool. If you were a scientist or something, or an engineer, it could make your life a lot easier. You don't have to do all these computations or whatever, or calculations. You could just use ChatGPT to do it. It's a very powerful tool to use. Let's see, let's do another physics problem. Okay, if I have a 40-gram block on a 40-degree incline, what is the force in newtons? So it has to use a trigonometric function to do this, because it's at an angle of 40 degrees. Yep, that's right, it's sine, all right. Okay, did that correctly. Wow, this thing is amazing. You could really do a lot. Let's do another math problem. Okay, let's go. Wow, I'm impressed. It actually could break down the problem and solve it individually, which is pretty good, which is amazing. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else I can think of? Okay, let's do another thing. Graph the function y equals x squared plus 4. I think that would look like a parabola. I don't think that got that correct. Let's see. This would be a straight line. I know, not a angled line. But got that correct. That is how it would look like. An incline like that, yep. It's 45 degrees, all right. If I had a radius of 6 meters, what would be the area of the circle? Can it solve this? Okay, that's correct. The area of a circle is pi r squared. What is the circumference of a circle that is 9 centimeters? Okay. If I had a what's the radius? Just working backwards now. That's correct. I didn't put any units on there, so let's put some units on. It should give us answers back in inches. Of course, I couldn't solve that problem because the circumference. I have to ask the right question. What's the radius? Okay, 9.54 inches. It even tells me the correct units. Let's do another math problem. Let's convert 300 meters to miles. Let me do my calculation of that and confirm it. I know it did it correctly. 300 meters. I could do it. We could solve it differently. Do my calculation and see if that's what I get. That's correct. So it's the meters cancel out here. The feet cancel out here. So we're left with miles. 0.1875 miles. Okay. It's correct. Amazing. Oh, this thing could really do a lot of stuff. Okay, let me try another one. That thing. I think I've done enough. So, what do I think the impact of ChatGPT will be? Let's see if we could do some simple programming. Let's see. Write "Hello World" on C#. Well, the syntax looks right. Write a program on C# for calculating an area of a rectangle. That looks right to me. I know if you put this in C#, this is gonna work. So the user could input the length and the width, correct? Okay, the area of a rectangle is length times width. That's correct. So we got write line, that's tells us to enter. Then we have read line, which allows us to enter the variables. Here also for the width, we could tells you what you have to enter. It gives you a place where you can enter it. It computes everything. There's the calculation, and this is what comes out of it, and it shows this area. That looks correct. Next thing, I want to do something very something else, like telling ChatGPT to write a header for a letter from a doctor's office or something. Let's do that. Letter from doctor's office for an appointment. Okay. You could enter your name, the name of the patient right here. I guess this is for the doctor's name, the address for the doctor's office, zip code, state zip, city, state, zip code, doctor's name. Wow. Okay. Let's read it. You put the patient's information here, the doctor's office information here, doctor's name. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to request an appointment for a medical consultation at your office. I've been experiencing health concerns that require professional attention. I believe your expertise. Okay, good. Okay. Letter from doctor's office as a reminder. Okay. Let's see what it wrote. Patient's information, doctor's information. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to kindly remind you of my upcoming appointment at your office. Okay, this is what I wanted, so I guess you have to rephrase it a little bit differently to get the correct response. So it does take a couple of tries. because the computer doesn't really understand what you said. So let's see. Okay, this is what the doctor's information is. This is to the patient. That was from the patient to the doctor. Dear patient's name. Dear Jane Doe. We hope this letter finds you in good health. This is a friendly reminder of your upcoming appointment at doctor's office. We understand the importance of your health care and want to ensure that you receive the necessary care and attention. Appointment details. Please arrive a few minutes early to allow time for check-in and any necessary paperwork. If you are unable to keep this appointment, we kindly request that you notify our office at least 24 hours in advance so we can schedule if needed and offer the time slot to another patient. Blah blah blah. Okay, that looks about what you would get from a doctor's office as a reminder. Wow, this is really amazing. This could do a lot. I mean, this is just the beta version of this ChatGPT. It may just be a computer algorithm that goes through a bunch of databases, but it is quite impressive in what it can do compared to what I learned, what I had access to back in the 1990s as a college student. Because we didn't have anything like that back in the 1990s. It simply didn't exist, but this could literally do the homework for students. I think if students want to write a report, ChatGPT can do that. From what I've seen so far, if you want to cheat ChatGPT to do your chemistry homework, you could actually do your chemistry homework. That would not be a problem. And if ChatGPT could do that, I'm sure it could do other stuff. It could write scripts. It could write stories. It could perhaps even generate music. You know? So, it is going to impact society in a big way. It's going to make a lot of entry-level jobs kind of like redundant, and if companies want to use this to maximize their profits, they're probably going to do that. I mean, back in the 1980s and stuff, we had programmable microcontrollers and stuff like that, and they were saying that these things aren't going to replace jobs. You know, they lied. Obviously it did when it started to get employed back in the late 1980s to the 1990s. I think Japan was like almost the first country that really utilized robotics and microcontrollers in their industry, and it made their industries pretty good, you know, pretty competitive. It reduced the cost of producing goods like automobiles and electronics and stuff like that, and it brought down the cost and it increased the quality. And they were employing this back in the, I guess, the late 1980s and 1990s as well in U.S. industry, and a lot of car manufacturing plants these days, they do use humans, but they use a lot of automation as well. A lot of the industries that we have in the U.S. are automated. I mean, if you think about it, you could see something like a brewery. There's a Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch brewery, which is about 5 miles from where I live, and that brewery is pretty much automated. Everything from brewing the beer to bottling the beer or canning the beer to even packaging it. It's mostly automated. You really don't need that many people there. Maybe some people to load the beer onto the trucks using some equipment, perhaps. And you need the drivers to take the beer to the stores so it could be distributed. Other than that, mostly everything inside the factory is pretty much automated. And most of the microcontrollers that we have today still use CPUs from back in the 1980s, late 1980s and 1990s as well. You have some microcontrollers that have industrial computers that have 486 and Pentium, first generation Pentium chips in them, basically. And since they're being used for microcontrollers, they don't have to be very complicated. They could just be doing very simple tasks, like let's say something, timing a conveyor belt or something, or you tell it to drop this at the conveyor belt at a certain amount of time or something. So it's pretty much you don't really need the most complicated computers to do like simple tasks for what a microcontroller does. But this is pretty amazing, and we're seeing a lot of automation now in fast food restaurants and stuff like that. One of my friends said, "Have you been to a McDonald's lately?" I said, "No, I have not." He says, now they got kiosks instead of having cashiers there. And I said, "Wow, I didn't know that." I mean, is that for all of the McDonald's? He said, for most of them, they got kiosks. So I guess they don't need a cashier for that. So I guess you have some people in the back cooking the food and putting it on a counter so the customer can get it. But maybe in the future, even some of the cooking processes can be automated as well, which can happen. So maybe you just have one or two people working there, maybe the manager for the McDonald's or fast food place, and a worker that just takes the food, the cooked food that the machines cooked, and put it on a tray and then give it to the customer or something. Or maybe they can even automate that as well. Who knows? So yes, this is going to have a huge impact on employment. And you're not going to need as many people in a company as was needed before, basically. If you got like ChatGPT being able to do all this stuff, you're still going to need a manager, right? Management positions aren't going to be eliminated. The people that are going to be eliminated are the people who, like the workers and stuff, they're probably going to be eliminated. They're not going to need as many people, so they're not going to hire as many people. And this is probably going to lead to some chronic unemployment in the future. I don't know when it's going to kick in, maybe a couple of years from now or a year from now, who knows. But it's definitely will have an impact. If people say that it's not going to have an impact, I don't think that's true, because this stuff is replacing human cognitive capabilities here. So, yes, it's going to have an impact on employment. And in the system that we live in, it's all about profits, isn't it? So the biggest expense to any business is labor costs, right? Payroll, that's the biggest cost to any business. So if they can find a way to cut costs, they will cut costs. And I know this is going to happen. It isn't something that I just believe. It happened back in the 1980s and 1990s. when a lot of these jobs got when a lot of these blue collar factory jobs got automated. So let me know what you think. I'd like to hear from you on what you think about the future of artificial intelligence and how it's going to impact employment and society in the future. Thanks for watching.